Morning. Today we are going to continue the topic creation of agency. In the previous video we have seen two modes in which agency can be created, okay, and that was by express agreement and by operation of law. How agency is created, that we have seen. Now the third mode, that is by implied agreement, means by implied agreement also agency can be created. Implied agencies arises from the conduct, situation or relationship of parties. Whenever a person places another in a situation in which that other is like he has been understood to represent or to act as a agent and all, then the third persons will consider him as an agent. So here implied agency comes into existence. I'll read again. Implied agencies arise from the conduct, situation or relationship of parties. Whenever a person places another in a situation in which that other is understood to represent or to act for him, he becomes an implied agent. Okay. Now implied agency can be created in different ways, and the first is what? Agency by estoppel. Estoppel is the principle of evidence, isn't it? Now what is estoppel? Means when a person he represents himself by his conduct that he is telling something, he is by his conduct representing something to the other, and the other person relies upon it, and whatever the first person has told, that is false. The other person relies upon him and incurs certain liability, then the first person is not allowed to change his position. Whatever the false thing he has told, that is going to continue. Okay, he cannot deny that. So whenever a person by his conduct or by words spoken or written leads willfully another person to believe that certain state of things exist. And now if certain things of state exist, if he is allowing by his conduct or by words spoken that other person should believe that certain things should exist, then those things exist. Okay, the affairs exist and induces him to act on that thing, that belief, so as to alter his previous position. He has been stopped from denying subsequently the fact of the state of affairs, because the state of affairs, though they were false, he should have he has done it, or he should have denied it at that time only, but he has not done that. Therefore now he cannot deny, because the other person has incurred certain liability. Means, take an example, in front of many people I am telling that, and you are also there, and I am telling that I am your agent, and though you are present, you hear me what I am telling, but you don't speak anything, you just keep quiet, you are silent. It was your duty to speak here and to tell the people that no, she is telling false, she is not my agent. Okay, you should have spoken like that, but you have not done that. So the other parties believe that I am your agent, and if they give me some money or something, then afterwards you can't deny that I am not your agent. That is principle of estoppel, or you can say in this place I am your implied agent. Okay, here implied agency is been created by the principle of estoppel. Okay, now the second is what? Agency by holding out. Agency by holding out is a branch of agency of estoppel only. In this case, some prior positive or affirmative act is needed on the part of the principal, that is you. In the first example, in the principle of estoppel, you are principal, I am an agent. Okay, but whatever I have done, I have spoken, isn't it? I have told, and you have not done something, means you should have objected, but you have not objected. Like that example we have taken in principle of estoppel. Here, you being a principal, you are required to establish the agency. Okay, means you have to do some positive or affirmative act. Means you allow me to do certain things, though I am not your agent, you are allowing me to do certain things. So people believe that because of your affirmative and positive act that I am agent, then that is agency by holding out. Agency by holding out is a branch of agency of estoppel only. Okay, now this is the second mode of creation of agency by implied way. Okay, see, the topic which we are seeing is what? Creation of agency. The first point where agency is created, that we have seen, is by express agreement. Second is by operation of law, and today we are seeing agency created by implied agreement. And that in implied agreement we are seeing different modes, that how impliedly agency is created. The first point was principle of estoppel, or you can say agency by estoppel. The second was agency by holding out, and the third is agency by necessity. Now this necessity, in certain circumstances the law confers an authority on a person to act as an agent. Though he is not an agent, he can act as an agent for another without requiring him the consent of that other person. Such agency is called as agency by necessity. The first is what? If an agent exceeding his authority in an emergency, some emergency is there, immediate decision is to be taken, and I am your agent, your principal, I am an agent, I am having some things to be done, I am authorized to do certain things, but an emergency arises where I can't do that thing, means I have to consult you, so I try to contact you, but I am not able to contact you, isn't it? So in this situation, emergency has arisen, I am not able to contact you, then in that necessity I can take certain decisions, and here agency by necessity is been created. You are bound by those acts, but the thing is what? Emergency must be there, necessary things should be done, and those should be done for your benefit, on your behalf also. Only in that case agency can exist here. Means here I am already an agent and I am exceeding my powers in case of emergency. So here agency by necessity is created. Okay, see, when an agent exceeds, means he is already an agent, when an agent exceeds his authority in an emergency, there arises agency of necessity, provided the agent first was not in a position to communicate with the principal, means is not able to communicate the principal, is not able to take the consent or consult. Second is had taken all reasonable and necessary steps to protect the interest of the principal, and the third is what? Had acted bona fide. In that case the principal will be liable for the acts of the agent. Okay, this is agency by necessity created when first an agent exceeds the authority in an emergency, and the second is if a person is entrusted with another's property, means if I give you certain things, I am entrusting you, I am giving you certain goods of mine, and then you have to keep it for that purpose for which I have given you, and after the purpose is fulfilled you have to give it back to me. Means when I am entrusting you to certain things, then you are working as an agent here. Here also implied agency is been created, and that is necessity. See, an agency of necessity also arises when a person is entrusted with some property of another which he has to protect or preserve. In such a case, although the person who is entrusted with the property has no such authority, he is in a position to act as an agent. I give you 1 lakh rupees to do certain things for me. You have done that, but you have done the work only by spending 80,000. 20,000 rupees are with use, so you have to give it back to me, isn't it? Here I have authorized you to do certain things, and you have done it also, and you are having my money. It is your moral, ethical duty, and law also says here you are acting as an agent here. You are entrusted with the money, so you have to give it back. Okay. Now this is the second mode in which by necessity an agency can be created, and the third is what? Husband and wife. See, generally law says wife has to do all the things, take all the decisions in the household decisions. So what she can do, she can go in the market and pledge the name of the husband. She can purchase the necessary things. This is important. She can purchase the necessary things and say to the seller that take the money from her husband. So law says wife is an implied agent of the husband, but husband is not an implied agent. If the husband wants to become an agent of the wife, then he has to take the specific authority. A husband is bound to maintain his wife, and if he makes no adequate provision for maintenance, she is entitled to pledge his credit for necessaries. A wife who is deserted by her husband, though she is deserted and she is not at fault, then also she is having an authority to pledge her husband's name. She can purchase certain things on the husband's name because because here it is his duty to maintain her and to provide her necessaries, so she can pledge, but here she should not be at fault. Okay, now if the husband wants to relieve himself from this implied agency, then of necessity, means his wife should not pledge his name, then what he can do, he can go to the salesman, tradesman, and he can say that if my wife comes, don't give her the goods, don't allow her to pledge my name, okay, because I have given her the money to purchase the necessary things and I'm not allowing her to pledge my name. He can either tell his wife or he can tell the tradesman also. Okay, today we have completed one of, you can say, one of the mode of creation of implied agency. Okay, bye bye, see you in the next video.